Okay, so finally today we're going to look at task 3, the synthesis task. You look at this and you think, oh, this is quite easy. All it is a little gap fill. So I've just got to put one word here or there. It's easy if you know what that word is, of course, and that's the real problem with this. A lot of students ask me what's the best way to answer this task, to try and find the answers. And really, honestly, while you're answering the specific questions for text 1 and text 2, read the texts carefully and try to remember that you've got to do this. Alright, if you leave this to the end and you haven't looked at it and you're just like panicking, saying, oh, where's the answer, where's the answer, where's the answer, you're going to have a real problem. So one thing you could do is look at this task first and think to yourself, alright, so Henry Clay did this, he did something in the 1800s, what's this text about? So for the first question, I'm probably looking at the first text. Henry Clay, he dealt with protectionism. Canada took a different stance, question 2, so this is probably from the text about Canada. Okay, Clay's vision. So question 3 is probably from the first text, protectionist system. This was another word for the American system, and Pennsylvania's there, so this is probably that first text about the United States. Interestingly, it was US that would often aid Canada. Okay, so question 5 is from the second text. Gave Canada. Alright, so look for clues in the sentences that help you find which text you're going to be looking at. Alright. Another thing you can do is to try and turn it into a question. Henry Clay suggested that something for domestic agricultural products would exist if there was protection against international products. Okay, this sounds quite familiar from the detailed questions we were looking at. So, what did Henry Clay suggest would exist for domestic agricultural products? What? I tell you what, let's go and take a look, shall we? Alright. Clay argued that protecting industry from foreign manufacturers would create large internal markets. Okay, so this is what he suggested would exist. Alright, question 2. Canada. Okay, so the text talks about some times in the 1900s and earlier than this, so we can narrow it down. We've got some idea it's in the 1800s. Becoming a major export to Britain for use in shipbuilding. Alright, shipbuilding, this is quite a specific reference and we know which country it's going to. So let's take a look down, way down to the text B. Here we go. Alright, ships were exported. Wood was the first commodity to Britain. Okay, so wood. This was the material that we needed to build ships. Okay, so there's question 2. Alright, question 3. We know we were talking about this again, Clay's vision. So back to the text number 1. Okay. There you go. So we're looking for people who opposed the system. Emphasize the importance of home markets. Alright, so if you can find that phrase in the text, you've got a good chance to get that one. Okay, this protectionist system found most support in states that were less agricultural and more. Alright, so you can't say that this word here is the opposite of agricultural, but it's like two of this and this are the two bases of, an economy. So you've got agriculture and let's just have a guess that it would be industry. Okay, we've seen loads and loads of things in these texts about agriculture and industry, so we can make a good guess that this is going to be industry or industrial because it's the adjective. Okay, Pennsylvania, that's quite a big clue. So let's go down and have a look. There we go. The American system found strong support in larger, more industrial, okay, so there we go, northeastern states such as New York and Pennsylvania. So words like this will really help us to find the answer. Okay. Interestingly, it was the US industry that would often aid Canada. Okay, so we're back to the Canadian text. Oh, look at this. Okay, this is a big clue. 1920 and 1960. When investment and something else. So we can probably find a word like investment in the text. Okay, here we go. Oh, look, 1920s and 1960s. Okay. At the same time, US investment in Canadian industry. Okay, so we saw that word investment. And, okay, what was the other thing? Raw material supply. Okay. In the latter half of the 20th century, what does that mean? Latter half, from 1950 to 2000, part 2 of the 20th century. Agreements such as those signed in 1964 and 1988 gave Canada the chance to benefit from some kind of free trade. Okay, these dates are quite specific as well, so we shouldn't have too much of a problem if we've been reading the text carefully while we're answering the other questions. Okay, so let's take a look down. Should be quite near the bottom. Okay, all right, so we've got 64, 88. All right, benefited from continental, okay? So we've got United States, Mexico, Canada, the North American continent, continental free trade. Okay, I hope that helped you understand why the answers we were looking for are the answers we were looking for. Ask your teachers if you have any questions, okay?